走遍世界各地 ，Jaeson Ma 不断灌输守贞的观念。他以身作则，从自己开始，也带领许多的年轻人愿意起身效法。而吴建豪就是让人最津津乐道的一位。
他说他那时候20岁的时候就答应上帝7年不跟女生有任何交往。他一讲7年的时候，我吓一跳，他7年啊。他说没关系，你不用说7年，你说3个月或者6个月先试试看，我觉得应该做得到吧。然后那后来那时候才我的见证出来的时候，我才真的很明确听到上帝跟我讲的时候，我就说 OK 好，1年我就试试看1年。那真的就是那1年，整个这样子下来，让我傻眼。
因着Jaeson Ma的影响，守贞不再是被同侪取笑的画饼，而是让人引以为傲的象征。
And Jaeson, what made you make the decision for committing yourself 7 years in traveling to go preach the gospel?
When I was 21, I made a commitment to God to be single for 7 years.
Why?
Because my girlfriend broke up with me. Yeah. I mean, that was 50% of the reason. There was a young girl that I was dating at church, and I really, really liked her, and I thought I was going to marry her. My heart was very, very torn, and I was very, very depressed. It was the first time I ever felt, your heartbreak, your first love. And so I remember I was depressed for like a year. I'd cry every day because I loved her so much. And then asking God why. And I remember him saying, would you give up the best years of your life to love me and serve me? Now, I didn't know what that meant, but I wrestled with it. I remember God saying to me, Jaeson, do you believe that I can satisfy you more than anyone else? Mother, father, brother, sister, girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, anyone. And I said, God, I want to believe that you can. And so, as I was there talking with God, I turned to the story of Jacob and Rachel, and how Jacob in the Bible waited 7 years to marry the love of his life, Rachel. Of course, he ended up waiting 14 years because he had to end up marrying his older sister first. But that number, 7 years, just came into my heart. And for some reason, I just felt, I don't know, but I just sensed that God was saying, would you give up 7 years? And at that point, I was like, all right, God, I surrender.
But purity, I mean, was it a very difficult commitment to follow?
Yes, definitely. It was very, very difficult because as a young man, you do burn with lust biologically.
Right.
Okay? You have sexual desires and needs, And so from a very young age, I had struggled with pornography. I struggled with masturbation. And even traveling many times, I would get very weak and lonely at times when I come back preaching. I was just exhausted. And I would be jet lagged, and I'd be on the internet, and then you get a random email in your junk mail. And then it turns out to be, pornography or something lewd or lustful. And times I had fallen, okay? As a pastor, I had fallen. So I've made this known, that I did not struggle. I'm a human being, I'm not like this holy pastor that's perfect and I don't have any sexual desires because God gave me a gift. No. I love women. I love God. I love women. I want to be married. I want to have children. I believe that sex will be great one day, in the right context. But I did struggle with it, and so through the years, through other pastors holding me accountable and other brothers and sisters holding me accountable and getting ministry in that area, I was able to overcome pornography and able to overcome that temptation, and really going to God and really letting God in His presence satisfy me. Okay? But it wasn't an easy road. It was a struggle.
But you have been teaching young people to keep purity.
Absolutely.
Right? Do they find you old-fashioned?
No.
No?
Abstinence is the new cool. Purity is the new cool. Yeah. I mean...
How did you teach them?
Example. The best way to lead is by example. I can't tell the young people to do something that I don't do.
Right.
And so when they see me, I'm almost 30 years old. I'm 29. I'm still a virgin. Okay, I remember the first time I was in Hong Kong, and it was an outreach for celebrities and artists, and there were about 200 artists and entertainers there, and I was like, I'm a virgin and I'm proud of it, and everyone just started laughing, right? Like, oh my God, he's a virgin? No way, no. And but I was like, you know what? I'm proud of it because to me, purity is not something, or sexual temptation, abstinence is not something I'm just trying to control or just trying to resist. It's a battle. It's a war. It's a fight to be won. So really, when you look at purity, you don't look at it as, oh, I'm missing out on something. Okay? Rather, I'm fighting for something. Okay? I'm fighting to give my future wife, my future family, my children the very best. To give them my whole heart. To let them know that I saved myself for their mother. And I love her that much that I would not give myself to anyone else but her.
Wow, how
for
romantic.
Her and for their children.
Oh, it's very romantic.
Well, I think God's romantic.
And I know this commitment affect Vanessa very much. Right.
Absolutely. Well,
We're talking about the same thing.
He is now, I believe he's been abstinent for almost 2 years now. And I always tell people, I believe in what I call born again virgins. Okay? So a lot of people, young people come to me like, hey, I already fell into sexual immorality. I had sex. It's too late for me. I go, it's never too late. It's never too late. As long as right now you ask for God's forgiveness and you make a commitment to be pure and to save yourself for the one that God has planned for you, then you are washed clean and you are made new, a born again virgin. And we've heard stories, unbelievable stories, miracle stories of women, young women that received their virginity again. Okay? Literally, when they get married, they're, physically, they're virgins, even though they had sex beforehand. And so I believe that God can do miracles like that, and he can restore your purity. But with Vanessa, he's a very special story. I mean, so many young people right now are following after him.
Right.
And that's why I believe that people like him, pop stars, cultural icons, celebrities, need to recognize that what they do influences others.
Absolutely.
Whether they like it or not, they are role models, either good or bad. And the actions they make, decisions they make, and choices they choose will affect thousands, if not millions, who will follow after the example. And most young people today will not follow what a pastor says, will not follow what their parents say, but they'll follow what Vanessa Wu says. And now, because of his testimony and that t-shirt that he's wearing, thousands in Taiwan and Asia of young people are wearing that same t-shirt, that God is better than sex, that God can satisfy me more than a human being. Okay? And they're committed to abstinence and purity. It's beautiful. It's powerful. He says, why don't you play that musical beat on your computer, find one of your sermons, and